my attention. You've been on my mind. I could touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, but you like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it.
Every day I want your touch, in every way I can't give it up. Anything just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, we be my ride or die. Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
Come closer. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bit.
Hello and welcome to the qualifiers for Trent on Track, the second qualifier, the last chance players have to attend the biggest offline tournament in players in the UK history. Trackmania. Ridiculously excited for this. I'm joined here by JunoFoxi, one of the other lead organisers, casters, and yeah, we are going to take you through the action today. Find out who else is making it a plan.
Yeah, some high stakes today to see who's going to make it, as you said, to biggest by players.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's what we'll go for.
I mean, we'll take it, right? We'll take it. Event in the UK in a long time, so very excited to see who we get today, because of course last week we had 4 teams qualify, and that means that this week those 4 teams that have already played and they've got through, they don't need to be here. So it's going to be new matchups, maybe new people getting further along in that bracket, and we'll see who takes the sort of the big points or the big places out of this week. Because remember, seeding in this qualifier is obviously determined by where you place in the bracket, and the higher you place, the better your chances are, because you will be playing against, if you place seed 1 this week at the end of the bracket, you will be playing against seed 4 from last week, which actually I think ended up being Moonvale, so
Yeah.
off the top of my head. So maybe,
Mm.
you might struggle a little, but
Yeah, seeding...
they might be easier to beat in a 2v2 setting. They certainly seemed vulnerable last week. They lost the game, so
Yeah, that
We'll
is
see.
true. Okay, they certainly didn't seem at their best. I have spent a significant chunk of evenings bullying Divino over inability to fight.
yeah, I hopefully we don't bring back any curses like that.
Oh, I was on one with the cast curse last time. I want
Yeah,
more
you
of them,
were
not
on it.
less.
Well, that was on Wildfire, right? Which people will be happy to know this week has been fixed. We have We've updated the map. There should be no bug
Yeah, that grass
on
clip should be
the
gone.
grass
Fingers
clip.
crossed.
It should be gone. But we'll see. If players find new bugs mid-event, what can we really do? It'll work.
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll be fine.
We're using words should because
Yeah.
Trackmania bugs are a fickle thing. You can't ever
It's-
squash them all. It should be fixed. I'm
I
never
mean,
going to
about
say with
half of
100%
them-
confidence that it actually is going to be fixed.
I mean, you look back through the history of Trackmania, right? And about half of the things that started out as bugs are now consistent features. So maybe we find the next feature, not the next bug.
I don't think we're going to
Well,
call a clip on some grass where you drop a gear
probably
a
not.
feature.
One day there'll be a khaki map about it, surely.
Probably about 15 already, to be honest.
There's probably quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think players are in the server, as far as I'm aware, and we're gonna start the seeding round soon.
Yep, we're just loading in.
Oh, we should be. Yeah, and it looks like we are into the warm up.
Yeah, we seem
So
to be. So
that's
we will, for a couple of minutes, a minute while the players warm up, and then we will be into first round. First map is Wildfire by Novu. Featuring
getting
Novu,
the
Novu and Navi.
getting the bug out of the way first. I see, very smart move. We'll see how the players handle this one. Now that it's been fixed. But obviously, no major changes to the route itself. And I think last week, out of the teams that didn't qualify, we had overall. Let me find it. Oh, that's the wrong. There it is. So last week, of the teams that didn't qualify, I believe Good Focus performed the best throughout the rounds. Yes, they were fifth in rounds, and they were very, very consistent across all the maps. Fifth, fourth, and fifth. With Wildfire being one of those fourth places. So expecting good things from them here, and we'll see how this first round goes. As a few people have immediately.
That's for a few people there. It has to be said. The Rebel, Killian, Belarus instantly fall, and Yossi. So, a bit different this time. We don't have kind of 8 teams playing at this point, so all these teams will definitely get onto the bracket. However, the seeding position of the bracket will still be hugely beneficial.
Yeah.
Of the 6 teams we have here, the top 2 teams will actually get buys.
Yes.
Through the first round, so they'll be in a position where they actually only need to win 1 match, essentially, to go and lock themselves
effectively, if you get into the top 2 positions in this seeding match, you get that bye, and you have, you're pretty much 1 game away from qualifying for the event, because you're in that upper bracket already, which would be very, very good for those players. There'll also then be a bye for, depending. I think do we have 6 teams today of players?
Yeah, we have.
Yes, exactly 6 teams. So that's good. So there will also be a bye for the players that lose the first match. So you'll get that second chance to qualify.
Yeah.
Everly. So everyone has 2 chances to qualify. You're not out the tournament, but we'll the bracket system, obviously not having the full 8 teams to fill it out, means it's a little bit less risky than before, but still important to win the early matches and put yourself in a good position, and also important obviously to place well here, because then you could bypass the difficult position.
We have a couple of teams taking part in this qualifier who weren't here last time. I think perhaps most notably given how well one of them is running, Matt T and Eggy. Well, that's my first curse of the day. That was quite impressive. Like, as soon as I mentioned that Eggy performing quite well, they proceed to drive off the map. I'm just getting into the flow of things, you know? I'm just getting into the flow of things.
I feel like it might be Wildfire. It might be Wildfire. That's the problem here. When you
Yeah.
channel your caster curse, you have superpowers on this map.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. So two duos who didn't play last week at all. So yeah. First of all, we have Eggy and Matt T.
Yep.
I'm expecting this duo to be pretty decent. You know, one player from Good Focus, one from Split. They're both players who have got kind of a lot better in the last couple of years, and I would expect them to make it. Similarly, we also have Killian and Koza this time. Another two players who have improved at a reasonable pace.
Yeah.
They didn't play last qualifier either, so I'm curious to see how they'll get on. I expect them to qualify, but they just gotta not mess up anything monumentally.
Yeah, fingers
oh
crossed.
dear, Eggy.
Although I think both Eggy and Killian have both crashed this round, so once
Yeah.
again pulling out the caster curse. I think
Yeah.
to be fair, Pat, I think because of how well you did caster cursing last week, I think we can blame every instance where a player crashes on you. So
Quite possibly,
for for any of the players that are potentially listening in or people watching in the background, it's always Padster's fault if your favorite crashes.
This is a well-established fact.
That's a well-established rule, I think, and it's true for this event as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, we see our first couple of casualties this time around. Yeah, one team who I think certainly on this map seems to have stepped up their game a bit is Louis and Idle. I've seen Idle kind of consistently in those top handful of positions, and Louis running well as well. Of course, as I say that, Louis drives into a wall. But,
Okay. Be careful, Idle.
yeah. But we'll keep an eye on.
Whereas Idle, they're up and third. They're up and third. They're fine.
Yeah, it's running well for Idle so far. So
yeah.
Hopefully they.
Don't try and channel it.
I don't. Oh, for
No!
pity's sake! Idle proceeds to just drive off the map. Where are they going?
Oh, they got a clip.
On an adventure. Wait, you can finish the map like that?
Wait, what?
What? Idle finding new lines. What is that?
What did I just witness?
Ah. Well, a new safe route has been found, and honestly, that's... I thought Idle was just driving off because these times are weighted. So your top kind of only your top 4 rounds count, and they go at kind of intervals of 40%, 30%, 10%, if round being 0%. So I thought Idle was just like, right, that's the sacrifice round. I'm gonna go drive around the stadium floor for a bit.
Yeah.
But no, I'd heard of another safe-in route on this. I didn't realize that's what it was. So Idle kind of rescuing that from a time perspective. Not gonna rescue this round though.
No.
So
yeah, that
had a very good
one's,
first 4 rounds. I start mentioning it, and both members of Retirement Home are trailing in 11th and 12th.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if they just sort of go for that random extra finish again, because it's it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well,
it's caught me so off guard.
good round there for Good Focus. You got to try and ignore about half the Good Focus acts. There are a lot of Good Focus players here. 2 of them are actually representing Good Focus. Those being Yossi and Babs, who have just gone 1 and 2 in that round, so they'll be feeling good about their chance. I think Babs has looked a little stronger this time around. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, didn't have 8 hours of or 6 hours of Beacon to do, right? So
Well, Beacon was still on yesterday, and it was still
Beacon
a
was still
relatively long
on,
cast.
but I don't think I think with the experience of last week, Babs is ready. You know, got the extra rest, is prepared as well. Had a bit more time to practice the maps as well in the intervening week. So we'll see how the players how the situation continues to evolve for him. But currently, in terms of rankings on that map, good focus took the map overall with actually I think a pretty good leads over. It was a retirement home in second. So as you're saying, Idolus doing pretty well there as well. So we'll see if that stays the same as we go into the next map, which is Peak. And this one is, well, I mean, they're all tough maps, but this is one of the maps that was also very, very tough last week for a lot of players, because this is the infamous no slide downhill map at the start. So we'll see if players have been able to adapt throughout that week, and you know, maybe if they figured out how to consistently not get the no slide. But yeah, I wish them good luck, as I believe we are going into the first round now. So.
We might miss the start of the first round, unfortunately. Game. So in one
that's
second,
a slight problem.
loads. Yeah.
Well, I am in the server, so I can tell you right now that there haven't been that many deaths on the first first turn.
Right?
So that's good news. Although I believe Babs has just died mid first round. So yeah.
We will be on shortly, I promise.
Babs taking the yeah.
Got radio cast for a minute.
Background now. Well, I'll radio cast. Jussi is in the lead, so it's Jussi and Eggy that are both getting very, very clean runs. Koza as well, doing very well. So we'll see. And then we get who else is back? Belarus, Comrade Lewis, and Matiem and Killian rounding out the top 8. And then yeah, Babs coming in 2 seconds off with a clip near the beginning of the map. So yeah, how's your game coming along, Pat? Is it trying to fight you?
It's trying to crash.
Head in hands.
Yeah, it's
oh no.
Put my computer out a window very soon. It's not in a good mood.
I could try and share the screen on Discord, and we could maybe get something for the viewers.
Now I think. Oh, yep, we are back.
Oh, you're back. Awesome. So yeah, second round in on Peak, and there's only been a couple of clips right at the back. Up front, we have Nyaruko and Killian. Everyone just about getting through the 360 as well. So yeah, it's gotta say, chat, I hope you're enjoying the podcast.
I thought my game would restart significantly faster. It is. There we go. I'm in.
We'll see.
We're back.
Two rounds over and done already. Back just in time to see Jussi finish.
Apologies
that
for that.
Well done, Pat. Well done, Pat. In the same way that you were cursing other people's runs, I'm sure one of them cursed your game, and that's how it crashed.
Yeah. Clearly the best explanation here for what has been going on.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, this map I think has been one of the more interesting. I guess maybe not more interesting is the wrong word for it, but in rounds I think it was one of the more entertaining maps that we had last week. Obviously there was the I think it was upper bracket game with Evo and no, it was Moonvale and Geese Can Fly, I believe. Which was the famous, the probably now infamous no slides forever.
Yeah, the Divino meltdown. is all
The
I can
Divinity
say to that
Meltdown.
one.
Oh, that was. Oh my gosh, I might be getting team names mixed up.
What do you mean? All the team names for this event are completely logical.
Yeah, they make so much sense. Well-known team names, such as Curry Knight.
Curry Knight better make it. I want to see
But-
that on a big banner.
I do want to
Curry
see
Knight.
Curry Knight in a big banner, but
Sadly, Curry Knight are not actually here.
oh, they're not. Oh no.
Yeah,
They're
we
the
are
one
missing
team
Curry
missing?
Knight. Yeah,
No, no Curry Knight.
no Curry Knight
Oh,
indeed.
that's a shame. We'll have to settle for Bonks R Us.
Yeah. So
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of a lot of what the teams have been bringing so far.
I think we're
Both in
seeing a
terms
more
of names and attitudes.
I think we're seeing a more consistent round. About 2/3 of the field have made it to the ice. We'll see how many make it through the ice. Killian doesn't. Yossi does it exceptionally well. And once again, Idol is up there. I think Idol is having quite a good qualifying. I wouldn't be surprised to see the retirement home into second place.
Yeah, well, they are overall at the moment. Obviously, second place in on Wildfire, the previous map. So, see if they can keep that up for this round, or perhaps take the lead, because I think they've been a little bit more consistent over these rounds so far. Yeah. Some good times as well coming out from the players, so it's not just about staying alive anymore in this sort of similar way that it was last week, where we had players sort of not really settled into the maps at all. This week it really seems like players are having to push to get those first place times, and well, I guess it's also now that we don't have the timed rounds EPOS show
Yeah, I think
as well, it's
I
a
think-
lot more competitive.
of the teams we've got taking part, there are definitely kind of 4 who got through last week. They hold all the really big names
Yes,
of
yeah.
the IPM who are competing. You know, you've got your EPOS, your Boz, your Wizzy, and my brain's just blank. But yeah, the
Yeah.
really big names are all kind of in that group.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get to more competitive matches this time, because we do definitely have a gap between, I think, kind of the 4 best teams than the rest.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we certainly did last week with.
I think it'll close up before the LAN.
Yeah, but I rather suspect it'll close up, especially as we get into the rounds this week, because I think last week it was also kind of clear that there were a few teams that hadn't really had too much time to practice on the maps. So I think with an extra week now, they've probably come back and they're going to be a bit more competitive during the bracket phase. And I think that's one of the really nice things that we have about having 2 qualifiers for this event, is that you have the second chance to, if you want to, you can dedicate a bit more time. You can really knuckle down and get in some proper practice, and then fire yourself up for making it to the event, so that maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable having played maybe in 2 different brackets, if you make it both weeks, right? To then face up against some of the stronger teams that have already qualified.
Yeah, it gives you just more practice and all of that good stuff. But anyway, warm-up is done here on our 3rd map. We are about to reach the halfway point of the seeding phase.
Yeah.
So here we go, and we see the first crash instantly. I got a nasty feeling that was one of the Twitch players. Not a team we've already mentioned. I think probably the biggest outside shot of qualifying. It would be a bit of an upset if they did. I'd love to
Yeah.
see them too. Oh, we have 3 mistakes on one corner there. That has not gone well for Babs. Eggy.
Yeah, I would love to see them do well. Toos were the only team to not make it through the timed rounds last week. So it would be very nice for them to sort of be rewarded. They are guaranteed to get through to the bracket stage this round. Or this time around. So perchance they can win a game and make it through. But we will.
Oh, Eggy.
That was an unfortunate attempt at an end. But yeah, we'll we'll see. Let's see what happens with Toos, because I wish them luck. Currently, they've placed last in the first 2 timed rounds, so hopefully they can improve.
Yeah. Now at the midpoint, pretty much, and I think we're getting an idea of kind of who's looking strong. I think
Yeah.
so far the teams that have probably impressed me most are obviously Yossi and Babs, but the retirement home of the other Full Good Focus team of Louis and Idol have also looked pretty strong.
Yeah, they have. It's
Haven't
worth
seen too
noting
much.
as well. Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll go. It's worth noting as well that that Split actually was first place on map 2.
Huh.
So
Flew under the radar
another-
for me
another-
as
yeah.
my game was having a panic attack.
I think it flew under the radar for both of us while we were trying to figure out, at what point
Yeah.
you would be back. But
I genuinely think after this stream I'm going to go ahead and dismantle my PC. It does not work.
oh yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, that's an impressive performance from Split there. And I mean, even in the last round, we saw Killian looking pretty strong. This round, Other is up at the front. Well,
Yeah.
so yeah,
And
good stuff
Matt
from
looking
Eggy
invested
as
too
well.
Yeah. Oh, Eggy. Yeah, Eggy up in the lead. Doing very well there.
So yeah, looking quite consistent. Quite consistent from people at the front, apart from who I jump onto.
It's
As is the curse. If you ended up with your car on one of my hotkeys, I'm so sorry.
yeah, it's
Another one fall there. Yeah,
I want to see. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. For those of you that have been, paying attention to BITM Discord and things like that, as part of, well, not really part of this event, but something that I'm doing parallel to this event, I'm doing a bunch of academic research onto how sort of an online community like British and Irish Trackmania sort of fares when it goes to a LAN event like we have for Trent on Track. So sort of working side by side the event is with my final year project, and I'm now interested and curious to see if Padster, we can try and convert your caster curse from online modes.
Oh, we're gonna have to see.
into
We're
LAN
gonna have to
mode.
see.
See if it's
I,
more or less effective. That could be an entire research project on its own.
Yeah, we need statistical data.
We need the statistical data.
Yeah, you got to go through all my cast curses, rate which one is like rate the quality of a curse from 1 to 10, and
We put
then
out a
the size of a
survey.
crash for measured in in milliseconds. See if there's a good correlation there.
We put out a survey for everyone to fill in on, when was the last time you were cast the curse by Padster.
Yeah. I'm almost scared okay, we're not watching Idol this round. That's a good start. We're gonna have a look at Matty.
Oh god.
We're gonna see whether Matt T can escape any caster curses. Currently having a pretty good start. Yossi and Louis up there as well. This is the last chance for players to try and set a really good time here. Try and get that 40% weighting with a good time. And it's a real mix of teams up at front. The top 4 players from 4 different teams. All behind a little, but still keeping up. Try to pay minimal attention to the tags people have. This is very unrelated to the teams they're running with. Half of Britain Irish Trackmania play for one of 3 teams, those being Split, Molotov, or Good Focus. And the official teams are not really being represented. Matt T, not with a perfect run, but he'll be okay with that. It's Cosette actually with very good time. She sets a 59 alongside Babs.
I think that is the first round that we've had today where you've specified which player you're going to watch, and you've watched them throughout the entire round and they haven't crashed. So, well done, Matt. Well done, Matt T.
Yeah,
for,
I'm
making it
proud.
through that.
I'm improving.
Very, very proud. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
proud of both you and of Matt T. So yeah, after that round, Good Focus took that overall. So it's now, I think, a tie with them. I think Split is still in the lead because they were second after the end of that. So very good performance from them, actually, leading into this 4th map out of 5. And this next map is going to be Perfect Blue. And this is a map that you and I have had to, when we have tried this in testing, etc., for server setup and things like this, we've had a lot of trouble with the
That's
with the
diplomatic,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a diplomatic way to say it. And most of our players last week seemed to handle it okay, but it's still a danger zone.
Yeah, I expect we're going to see at least a few clips or mistakes on the quarter pipe jump up. It's quite a precise line.
Yeah.
I would hope higher quality from the players playing rather than me and you when we were just testing if server worked.
Well, I'd hope so. I mean, I at that point I had played, I think, about 15 minutes of the map, so
I played none, so you have been me at that point. But we are getting underway with our penultimate map of this seeding phase. And
yeah, it's time.
someone has had a pretty rough start there by not actually starting. I didn't catch who that was. Yeah, that I would deem that a suboptimal line, personally.
Probably. I mean, is it really a line? Is it a line if you just do not start the map?
Yeah, that was Louis. So
that was Louis. Okay.
very unfortunate for the retirement home. They have a controller DC. We could do something about that in rounds, but when you've got so many players on the server, we can't really restart everyone.
Yeah.
We'll pause after this round to give me a chance, though. I have been riding on board with Matt, who has inevitably crashed, so we're gonna see. Does everyone make the jump up? It looks pretty clean.
It looks like everyone made it through.
Yeah, I only count 1 fatality there. I believe that may have been Eggy. I'm not sure, but plenty of people making it into the risky fin. Yaruko did actually make it into the fin despite facing backwards.
Yeah, they did make it, but crashed out onto the.
Yeah, we don't question how.
Yeah. I will say as well, oh yeah, so no pause necessary because Louis is back online, so that's good. But I will say another thing about this map, which I think sort of goes undetected a lot because it's after the insane half pipe from hell. The risky finish on this map is, at least I have found it, extremely difficult to get right. You need very high speed to get through, or to get over the platform, and you also need the precision to be able to get around the sort of extended wall just before the checkpoint, and still have time to sort of turn in to the little ramp that it has to get up to that risky. And if you fail it, well, obviously you have to respawn and then try and figure out a way to break and go to the safe finish, because the lineups for which finish you want to go to are very different compared to which way you're turning. But of course, as I say that, there are players making it look very, very easy. So yeah, well done to them. I think Tweety's just showed exactly what I
opted for
was
the
talking
statement.
about before you picked it up. But yeah, it's very difficult to control the car through that little sort of left-right into a very thin jump.
Well, Louis is gonna say able to play the game again. Able to run the game and input a controller, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna go and spectate someone else. Louis having a bit of a nightmare for the retirement home there. And I hope Idol
Yeah.
can offset some of the damage here.
And the good
now
news is that they're still gonna be through no matter what, right?
They're still going to be through, but I think that's going to be... I think positions 3 down to 5 are going to be the really, really interesting ones here. So, currently, Split and Good Focus are kind of running away with it. They are both, you know, they are joint first, currently on the seeding, looking very strong. And I mean, as
Very,
I say
very
that,
fast.
you know, 3 of the 4 players from those 2 teams fill out 3 of the top 4 spots. Only Eggy getting in the middle there. Behind that, though, Retirement Home looks like Damp and Bonks are up. Increasingly ridiculous team. But all very, very tight. Their overall ranks are 12, 13, and 14 going into it. So,
Yeah.
on paper, assuming Split and Good Focus make it, which would be a massive upset if they don't, one of those 3 teams isn't going to qualify. Trying to get yourself in a good seeding position, particularly if you can get into 3rd, will be really, really important here. Because whoever ends up 4th and 5th, so that currently looks like Damp Bogs or us, which in English it's Matt T and Eggy versus Rebel and Yaruko. One of them is going to fall into lower bracket. So, they'll both want to be avoiding that. Use some good performances on these last couple of maps. I feel like some decent performances here from Eggy and Matt T. To ride on board with Matt T. Opted not to go for a risky finish. That's kind of respectable, but they come home in 4th and 5th. Meanwhile, Rebel and Yaruko not to be seen. Rebel and Yaruko as players are both fast but crashy.
Yeah.
I would love to see them qualify because I think the entertainment value would be impeccable. We'll ride on board with Naruto. See how they get on. They need a few good rounds to try and get themselves out of, you know, kind of 4th, 5th position that they're currently in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the having that sort of first round bye probably means an awful lot because you get to. It's not only are you in a sort of better position than anyone else in terms of where you are in the bracket, but also you get to spend the first match just sort of kicking back and relaxing, whereas everybody else is going to have to be playing pretty much from the get-go. So.
To be honest, I don't think there's really any hope of Bonks making it in positions that can get a bye, but if they can set themselves up against Bruce, I reckon they'll have a far better chance than if they were to play against, you know, either kind of Eggy and Matt.
Well,
Time and home.
you
Very
never know.
good time
what if
from
upsets?
Yaruko. It's got to be said, I did an anti-cast curse. I said we're going to spec Yaruko, one of the crashiest players on the planet, and make him drive a PB. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but
maybe it depends on who you're caster cursing.
Perhaps, yeah. Yaruko, it's a double negative or something going on. So that is a very nice final round for Yava Evo. As, of course, that your fastest round will count for 40% of the overall weighting for the map, which is pretty massive.
Yeah,
so getting that with like a 0.9, like, pretty good. And it's staying so tight between those 3 teams. As we now have that map added. In terms of overall rank,
It's
Yeah,
15,
they
16, and 17.
15, 16, 17, one map to go.
Yeah, and for
As
context, the points that we're calling out with 15, 16, and 17, the lower number is the best.
Yep.
Because it's sort of adding up all of your places across the maps. So yeah, those three teams are all very, very close together, and it's basically a shootout between them to decide which one of them is going to face up against Twos in the first round and potentially sort of give them a chance to qualify early.
good folks that split are currently on 8 and 9 rank wise currently. Last two maps they have been 1 and 2 team wise.
Yeah.
And one of those teams has won every single match.
Oh god, yeah.
Trading between them. So those two are looking good, and I think they're pretty much mathematically confirmed to be the ones getting the bye through the first round. So I think all attention has to be going on Matty and Eggy, Idol and Louis, finally Rebel and Yaruka. They're not just after clean rounds, they're after pacey rounds. They're allowed one mistake, they can get away with that, but anything more and they'll start eating into their time. Similarly, too many mediocre rounds, and they're not going to be qualifying too well either. Not looking great for Nyaruko and Rebel as they are at kind of the back of the field right now. Meanwhile, Louis, for the retirement home, leading the way. Idol, they're supported about 5th. They're looking in strong position. Similarly, Matty and Eggy, 2nd and 5th now. Oh, and as I say that, Matty makes the first mistake of kind of those 6 important drivers. Then Louis makes a huge mistake at the end. That's such a punishing clip that Vegas encountered. Idol will be there to pick up. I don't do this intentionally, I promise. I swear, I don't do this intentionally. Idol drops about 1 second for no reason at the very end there, and in this kind of important shootout for who's going to rank top of these 3 teams, I gotta say that actually, I don't think that looks good for anyone other than maybe Eggy. I think Eggy did okay.
I feel like we definitely need like a separate ranking list.
Yeah.
It's like a hit list of just all the people that you have instantly cursed as soon as we mention their name.
I'm a pretty good caster cursor. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone needs to start a tally of that at the LAN, I think.
But it also shows you just how close it is between these 3 teams and how important these rounds are, right? Because these are the teams that they need these rounds to place well, and every time they just seem to be there'll be one in a really, really good position and they just get a clip and they can't quite break away from each other. And
well,
yeah, that was
this time it's, I almost daren't say anything, but it's looking pretty decent for a retirement home, running in 3rd and 5th currently. Louis having a good ending so far as well. They can keep it clean, which they can.
Yeah.
Louis sets 1:08. Not bad at all there. And a relatively decent time from Idol, so that'll be a decent contribution after mistakes previously. Of course, everyone allowed 1 free round. I don't think Idol and Louis would have wanted to use that help on round 1. But
no, yeah.
Getting...
But you gotta take what you can get.
Yeah, they do a decent round there, at least getting something on the board. I don't feel like we've seen a lot of Nyaruko and Rebel yet. But equally, last time I said that, Nyaruko drove an absolute blinder around. So, Nyaruko goes into the pole. Okay, not talking about Nyaruko anymore. This, okay. He's sake. Okay, so we've got
Somebody clip that, please. The way that you said that was so.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's incredible, but yep. So this round we have Eggy and Idol towards front from the teams who are really keeping an eye on. Of course, Kozak, Killian, Yossi all looking strong as well, but Yossi, it's a bit of a given. The others less so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice performance
gotta
there
say-
for Eggy and Idolus in particular.
Yeah, Yossi has looked like I think the strongest player throughout the
for sure.
qualifier overall so far. So very good signs for them. But we saw last week how just being the strongest player in the lobby isn't enough when we get into bracket. So
And we ended up with almost a complete reverse of the top 4 teams
exactly,
from qualifying.
and that we now sort of last week we had a sort of breakaway top 4 teams. We now have a breakaway top 2. So potentially we'll see those two swap around, or perhaps even we'll see the full reverse again, and whoever places third and fourth manage to get up to the top. But we'll see what happens. And
Round looking good for
now-
Eggy. Yeah, I've got to say.
oh,
That
no.
wasn't Eggy. That wasn't Eggy. I'm allowed
That
that
was
one.
just that was
But-
my bad. I just said
Yeah.
they were the best player so far.
Your turn. Yeah,
It's my
Eggy.
turn.
Eggy looking decent. Four looks like damp. I'd love to know the story behind that name. I will have to ask one at some point.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's the most confusing name that we've had, right?
Yeah, we've had some other funny names.
There's been
I
some
mean,
funny
Geet
names.
Geet
but
Can Fly is a bit weird as well. I know the story behind that one.
this is true, yeah.
But we are actually on the last round of qualifying here, so any last-ditch effort these teams have needs to be used now. Rebel not going to be using his. Is a wall encounter there. Neither of the retirement home players looking particularly hot this round. Up in front, someone who is having a decent round is Eggy once again, and Yaruko is there or thereabouts. So Eggy really staying with the good folks and split players here. Really strong performance here. Might end up doing enough to drag looks like Damp up into a very important third place potentially. Fab and Killian first, but we see Eggy and Yar following. Very, very shortly we will have results. And
Ooh.
I don't know what we do about that. We have a draw.
Oh
Looks like Damp
yeah.
and Retirement Home have ended up with the same total rank. So I will have to get back to you on who is actually ahead there. I'm calling
We'll
production,
see,
and that
we'll see,
doesn't
we'll
mean
see.
myself.
Wait, we also have. Hold on.
And we
Do
have
you
a
see
tie for
Do
first
we
as
see?
well.
Yeah, we have 2 ties. We have a tie for first, and we have a tie for third and fourth. So we'll have to figure out exactly how that works. I think the tie for first and second should be completely fine because both of those teams would get a bye anyway, and would be
It will
facing one
matter.
another. So.
It will matter.
Well, yes, it will matter for
Relatively soon who they play
yeah,
in
well,
a second match after
yeah,
bye. So
potentially.
we will get back to you with the full qualifying order shortly, but for now, 1 and 2 are taken by Split and Good Focus, those being Ozza and Killian, as well as Yossi Babs. Third has been taken by looks like Damp and the Retirement Home, which Eggy and Matt, alongside Louis and Idle. Finally, Bonks RS are fifth lineup of Rebel and Ruka, and then finally Truce, unfortunately bringing up the rear on
Yeah.
Quiddies.
Unfortunate for them, but it kind of felt like a given after the first map, and they were just that little bit behind every single round. Which is yeah, but we'll see how they fare in rounds because I think at least they have been finishing the maps consistently. So, and as we know from the infamous Padster curse, it doesn't matter how secure your position looks going into the finish. You might just clip several times and then fail the safe finish. So there's still potential for everyone in this bracket to win and go to the event. So yeah.
Right. We will be back very shortly with kind of a full seeding order and hopefully first matches of today. It'll be someone versus Bonks or us. Well, we check over the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
We will be back in probably 5 or 10 minutes. Catch you.
I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. I don't wanna think about it every day. You know that you kinda wanna feel the same way. So much time, you just had to pretend. I've been so lost, I just wanna run away. Run away right now. I gotta go, I'm wasting my attention. You've been on my mind, I could touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, but you like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it.
Every day, I want your touch, and every way, I can't give it up. Anything, just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, we be my ride or die. Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrow, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. Come closer. Nine and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. Think about you a
it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting. Maybe, oh, maybe I'm indecisive. Maybe it's all too late. Maybe I'm just done fighting. It's all too late. It's all too late. All too late. It's all too late. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's me in my head and I can't get it out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling down. Maybe it's crazy. Oh, I almost touched the ground. Touch the ground. Oh, I touched the ground. Touch.
Hello and welcome back to the Trent on Track Qualifier 2. We have we've done the maths, we've put it all together, we've sorted out the tie breaks, and we have our seeding order. It's been posted over in the Discord, but if you don't want to load that up, we don't quite have a casting order, but we do have the matches that are upcoming on a bracket here. So
Yeah.
it is, as previously mentioned, Good Focus and Split getting the bye. I think I'm quite surprised by how well Split did in particular, but the two teams looking very close. But from a tie break, it is Good Focus who ever so slightly ahead. Then we have our two actual matches. We have Eggy and Matt T versus Belarus and Sister Twitties. So Eggy and Matt T, as looks like damp.
Yeah, looks like that.
They ended up just winning the tiebreak. Quite a small margin. It was one particularly strong map performance that did the job for them. And that forces the retirement home and Bonks to play each other in a bit of a rematch. We've already had this before, and if I remember correctly, it came right down to the wire previously. So we're heading back into that game again. Double check what the result was from last time. I believe it was 2-1 with a very tight final round
I believe so,
bracket.
yeah.
So this is going to be very important. It won't knock either team out instantly. They will have another shot at redemption, but it's going to make it tricky.
Yeah, every team still has, you still have to lose twice to not make it. But yeah, it's definitely not a good thing to be starting out on a loss. So fingers crossed we can see some very competitive matches here. I'm expecting some very competitive matches here. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Because I think players are going through pick ban right now. Although I think I've also seen that we are once again experiencing Trackmania Comp Tool server.
Always a glorious issue.
Swapped on teams.
In very shortly, though, the winner of this does have the unfortunate fate of going and facing up against, which is rough. Let's not beat around. They are one of the strongest looking teams.
Yeah, outside of Split, they were of by far and away the strongest team here. So you don't necessarily want to face them either, but starting off on a front foot is always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like we will be getting under very, very shortly.
We're having some fun server issues, so I'm gonna try and check these out in the background. Uh-oh. Oh dear. New technical issues just dropped.
No, it's that was intentional. I apologize. It's definitely not. Nothing's going on behind the scenes. Anyone who has ever worked with Nadeo Comp Tool will will understand that it's temperamental sometimes. But very shortly we should be getting underway with this match. I feel like I've said that a few times, but for real this time.
For real. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, it looks like all the players have been. I keep getting loaded into the wrong side of the map. Is the trouble? But I think. Oh, yeah. I think they figured it out. So.
Yep, that's looking better.
It looks better. Whether they're on the right side of the teams are now separated, which is good. Comptool's not putting them both on the same team, but whether they're on the right side for the Comptool gods to sort them correctly in the bracket, we don't have to go back and fix all of the coding. We'll find out after the match, but for now, they're separated. The scores at the top of the screen will show up correctly. So that's all we need to really worry about. So yeah.
Well, we are going to be underway for real this time in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Can fade into in-game. Watch a bit of their warm-up. I wonder whether we're going to see any more shenanigans on this map. You know, this map has been proving fun for all involved.
It's a familiar sight, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a familiar sight, but a worrying one, you might say, to see Wildfire come up. So perhaps some of the players praying for a Cast the Curse, perhaps some now praying to avoid it now that the map has been selected. But we'll see how players get along in this first round. Nyaruko taking the lead very early on, but falling back here now until with Lewis going up in front. So looks like overall a good round. Rebel had a bit of a clip, so 1 second back to them and 3/10 between the top three. And as I say that, Naruko goes wide and gets 3/10 slowdown. So looking like it could start out with an ace for retirement home. Louis and Idolus pretty much untouchable at the moment. We'll see if they can make the finish.
Yep,
which they
looks
do
all
nicely.
very clean, no mistakes coming into the finish there, and an ace kicks off here on Wildfire from retirement home.
Yeah, seems like I don't have your Caster Curse skills just yet. So
They're developing. You'll get there. I promise.
in their infancy.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Rough first round for Bonks. They are gonna want to hit back with another ace or, at worst, a victory. All players fairly tight. That's not the line you want to be on, though. Rebel, it has to be said. He's going to about 4 tenths of a second. Idol and Louis Vo now hounding Eriko, and as I say that, we have Idol into the wall. Not quite. Oh, Rebel is actually there to catch
Rebel
them.
is
So
right there.
dynamic of this round has changed quite heavily there. Rebel into a semi-secure third place now. Quite a reasonable amount ahead. Meanwhile, Louis also making a mistake. And Nyaruko failing the jump there.
Yeah.
This
That's
turned
the
once
first
more.
big
Louis fails
bonk.
the jump as well. So it is all over the place. We see a safe in coming out for Idol.
Oh gosh, it's going to be down to which one of them can finish the map.
Naruko does it in a very scruffy way, but that will guarantee a victory for Bonks or Us.
Yeah.
They needed that to get themselves back into the match a little bit. They missed a chance at a counter rate. That round could have gone far better still.
Yeah, definitely. So demonstrating the difficulty of that jump still in the second half of the map. We have fixed that bug again. Oh dear, with the downhill grass block. Should be no clipping there that we see, so players should be able to make that jump a little bit more consistently. But that being said, obviously still a very difficult jump. And throughout this round, it's looking again like a retirement home ace. 2/10 in the lead of Rebel, the only one of the Bonks R Us players that could really do anything to the retirement home players. And as I started saying that, they seem to have crashed. So it is now Nyaruko half a second behind.
Oh, mistake from
Idle.
Idlers on the jump.
Yeah, Idle making a mistake, and that now means Louis needs a clean finish, and does not get a clean
not
finish.
Not gonna get it.
Oh dear.
That is Rebel. Not close enough.
Oh, Revel's not quite close enough. Yeah. So it's another victory for Bonks R Us, and it's looking like a better couple of rounds for them. After that first one, still 1 point behind, 3 rounds in, so still need to keep this consistency up, but it's working so far.
Yeah, it's really going to be a battle of consistency, particularly on like the ending section of this track, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've definitely seen more mistakes from Bonks R Us on the early phases of the track, but when it comes to that final bit, it's been a lot more 50-50, and Bonks R Us seeming to pick up the pieces more often than not so far. This round, though, we're still in the early section of the map, and all 4 players are there or thereabouts. Very wonky line there from Yaruko. Not quite sure where they were going, but not going to drop too far behind. Rebel.
Yeah, they just went wide going into that plastic and get a little bit airborne, which lost them a whole bunch of time as we go over the jump, and everyone seems to...
that is Rebel making a mistake, and that's a costly mistake.
That is a costly
chance
mistake.
to at least deny the ace, which isn't going to happen this time. Very clean round from retirement home. Flying in formation there, picking up an ace, and the kind of close 4-5 scoreline is going to turn into 4-8 and make it very difficult for us to get anything more here. We're going to need aces.
Yeah, they are gonna need some
2
big
aces in a
scores.
row.
Yeah, two in a row, or
You're out of the next 3 rounds.
they can get away with at least one victory in there, or a draw. But they can't afford to lose any more rounds, so need to be on the pace, which for the moment they are in the opening few corners. Idle a little bit behind, although coming back now.
Oh, mistake from Nyaro.
From Nyaro, but they're still not
lost from
completely
Louis,
out of
too.
the fight. Yeah, Louis
So-
clips, and it's Revel up in the lead now.
Yeah, jumps the entire pack, goes from 3/10 behind to 10.5 in front. Very, very crucial for Rebel to try and maintain this first position, though. And I don't believe it's looking too likely.
Yeah, Idle
Rebel
just
versus
snatching it back,
Idle.
but it's gonna be so close.
Oh, Rebel is not going to get there. Idle does
Ooh.
well to hold it across the line, and whereas Nyaruko is
But-
going to finish,
Forces
keep
a
them
draw.
alive by the absolute skin of their
over.
teeth. It has to be 2 aces in a row now for Bonks R Us. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they got 2 wins in a row earlier, but that was down to mistakes coming out from the side of Retirement Home and Bonks R Us being able to pick up the pieces, and it seems like Retirement Home have managed to gain a little bit of that consistency in the last few rounds, not making as many mistakes.
Nyaruko.
And, oh dear, that is not
That's a
what you
biggie.
want. And in fact, I think that will guarantee that it's a loss, even with a draw if one of the Retirement Home players crashes or DNFs, because all Retirement Home needs is 1 point. They could come away with the map win from a defeat here, so all they need to do is finish, and Louis right now is...
Oh, mistake from Louis, though.
I was going to
It's
say dominating,
not going to
but
make
yeah.
any difference, I don't think, as Nyaruko is just too far behind.
Yeah.
Louis is going to finish with a safe fin, but not before Idle gets to the main fin first. And despite Rebel's best efforts, that is going to be a 10-6 scoreline going to Retirement Home.
Yeah, Naruko not quite able to finish the map there as well, getting a clip on the ending ramp. But yeah, it was a fairly one-sided map, I would say, but also you could see there are vulnerable spots for Retirement Home. So perhaps now going into, I believe this is Bonks or Ross's pick of Peak, they can pick some points up and maybe take the second map back.
Yeah. Very different map here. I gotta be honest, it's another one of the more punishing maps in the pack. I definitely think we probably see mistakes most heavily on Peak and probably Wildfire. The ending of Wildfire and the start of Peak that causes issues, as you have that very, very dangerous no side that can happen. So
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Wildfire, I think, is definitely gonna just permanently be my my pick for most dangerous track to play on if you don't like crashing. But Peak is it's up there among the hardest of the maps, and we've seen so many times last week players struggling with the start, and hopefully we don't see the same this week. But we're about to find out going into this first round here as... Oh, it looks like somebody did get the no slide, and it was
that
Idle.
was Idle.
Straight into the wall, and that is...
Oh, and
no,
Louis goes flying over the checkpoint. That is,
That's
in
not
terms
good.
of time loss, a very costly mistake.
Yeah, a very costly
so-
mistake in terms of time loss, and even more costly in terms of points. Because Bonks and Us are both still alive, they can afford to play this very, very safe. They don't need to push. They can go a second and a half slower than their PBs if they want, and they'll still come out with an ace. So just need to play it safe through the 360 now, which they are just about doing. Rebel having to release there to avoid the wall, but still more than enough time ahead.
Yeah, Idle had a terrible 360, so that's gonna count about a second.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a round to set the world on fire from Bonks or Us, but they both crossed the finish line. And
Yes.
that's kind of what you're gonna need on this track.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
So-
that we were talking about it, right, with... That's the... We've seen the vulnerability that Retirement Home have on Wildfire to make mistakes, and if they can... If Bonks or Us can just keep picking up the aces where Retirement Home make mistakes, then they could do pretty well here. But
Yeah.
this time around, no slides, no flying off the checkpoint. It's even Stevens going into this dirt section here, and we'll see if all the players can make it through without clipping on the outside here. That looks pretty good. So it's gonna come down to the ice slide. Louis has 3/10 of a lead, so we'll see if they can keep it. But it clips on the inside wall.
Beautiful
So
slide from both of the Bonks or Us players, and going through that slide, we suddenly see what was a Retirement Home ace turn into a Bonks or Us ace, and
yeah,
I'm not ready to call the map done yet, but 6-0 is pretty hard. Yeah, 6-0 is going to be pretty hard to come back from.
that is definitely not the round you want to lose if you're Retirement Home. You had Louis had a 3/10 lead going into the ice slide, and Idle was on par with both of the Bonks R Us players, and well, now in this round, Nyaruko seems to have had that first clip and is a few tenths behind. But yeah, you want to be a little bit more consistent if you're Retirement Home here, because you have the pace. You've been with them on the times where you haven't been crashing, so you know you can win it. But can they keep away from the wall as we head back into the 360 once more? See if Louis can get it cleanly. Louis does. Idleless doesn't. But Rebel gets a really clean line once again. Is taking the lead right before the final drift, and it looks like it's going to be a victory on the side of Bonks or Us, because Idle got such a bad slide.
I gotta be honest, I think across 95% of the map, these teams are pretty even, if not in favor of Retirement Home, but just on that ice slide, Rebel and Nyaruko look so comfortable.
Yeah, maybe
They're
goes
yet
a
to
little
make a
bit
mistake.
into... Yeah. Maybe goes a little bit into displaying why this was their map choice. Perhaps they've been practicing that particular 360 throughout the week. But yeah, it's working out very, very well for them now, and just 2 points away from the map win and forcing a third map. and we'll see if they can keep it up once again. Louis is 3 seconds behind after a crash early on, so it's all down to Idle. See if they can get this drift, and it looks like they have.
Oh, no, they
don't.
Don't straighten up in time.
Yeah,
End
it's
up
just
straightening
on the
up straight
exit.
into the wall. And Rebel has put in an absolutely blinding performance.
Yeah,
That has been so important for Rebel.
very.
I think
very
both from a
important.
confidence point of view, but also for Bonks or Us, they've gone from probably looking like the weaker of the two teams to, dragging us to map 3 in the space of 4 rounds.
I mean, that was frankly dominant. 11 to
Oh,
1 the scoreline.
11, yeah. You could only get it 1 point more dominant. The only way you can do better is
Exactly.
4 aces. 3 aces and a
Exactly.
victory is, yeah.
You'll take that whenever you get it as a player, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, doing very, very well here. And I mean, in the first map as well, we saw glimmers of hope that perhaps they might be a little bit more consistent across the rounds when Retirement Home were dropping defeats to sort of silly crashes. And who knows whether they've been practicing, whether they're ready for this final map, Perfect Blue. Whether they've practiced, either team has particularly put a lot of practice into the half pipe jump. We'll find out, but or the quarter pipe jump, sorry. Find out as we get into the rounds. But in warm up so far, it seems like Retirement Home have it down, but we'll have to keep an eye on it, because I think I'm gonna quickly go and check the seeding round here, because I believe, yeah, both of these teams were 4th and 5th in the timed rounds, so on this map. So neither team particularly exceptional across this map, and we'll see which one can just sort of maintain that consistency. I think it's the word of the day here.
Yeah, Rebel, not a great start, but does kind of still be scrapping for up against Louis. Towards front, it is Nyaruko leading the way. Up against Idolus. It's almost broken in 2 1v1s. Nyaruko drops all the speed though. Crush mistake, that turns the draw into a potential Retirement Home ace, but there is plenty of this track to go.
Yeah, and this is
Is
the
everyone
first...
going to survive the quarter pipe? Yes, they do. Perfect and clean, but Rebel gets it particularly nicely. And if Rebel can hold on here, can get the risky finish, it's going to be tight. But he does, and that denies the ace for Retirement Home. Keeping Bogs for us in a, relatively decent position despite Yaruko's mistake.
Yeah, I mean, only a victory to start with as well for Retirement Home. You're not quite feeling as comfortable as you might want to.
Oh,
so you can't
that
afford
was
mistakes still, and
Yaruko
that was
flying.
Nyaruko with a much bigger crash, and another one actually as well behind, so they're going to be quite a way back and not really a threat. Although, having said that, Louis also has crashed 1.7 seconds off the lead now, so it's a 1v1 between Rebel and Idol up front to see whether this round is a draw or a victory for side of Retirement Home at the moment. But we'll see how the players get through the jump once more. It looks like Rebel got through very, very cleanly, yeah, and behind them Louis and Nyaruko got through on the first try and Louis didn't, so this all of a sudden could flip round, and it will flip round. It will be a victory for Bonks R Us, so the teams will be level on points 3-3 after the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, we said this game was going to be close. I wasn't expecting it this close, I'll be honest. This is...
Well, just you wait, we could have 3 aces now.
That is very true.
Don't cast the curses away from a really good game.
I'll do my best, but maybe I have triggered it, as it's currently looking in ace formation for Retirement Home. Another mistake from Yaruko. Less costly than somebody else, but that is going to hurt him. The best part of 4 attempts behind us with the Idol get a clip, dragging Yaruko back into relevance for this round.
Yeah, Louis is only a 10th ahead, so...
And Yaruko's had a blinding kind of middle section
Ooh, the jump.
Early mistake. Oh, Rebel
Oh, that was Rebel
survives by the skin of his teeth.
I thought for a
Gets-
moment that was Louis clipping, but it was Rebel, and oh,
On Yoruko.
clips for the
Yoriko's
end.
low. And Idol snipes Rebel
Oh!
on the line. That is 2 bits of bad luck in a row, leading to a retirement home ace out of absolute thin air.
I mean, you know how I said we don't want, we could get 3 aces.
You know
in a
what?
row.
If it's 3 aces and they all come down to something like that, I'm perfectly fine with it. That was an absolute belter round. Retirement home getting very lucky there. That said, I still maintain that I think Rebel and Yar probably have the pace here if they can just keep it neat and tidy. Now, Naruto doing quite well, making it further than usual before any signature crashes occur.
Well, we'll see if they can make it through the jump. It's been a very clean round so far, and that looks good. That looks like a good jump, but not
It's
quite good enough to
okay,
stay
but
ahead
not-
of Idol.
Idol gets it very well.
It's
Gonna
gonna
see
be so
any-
close though.
Yep. Oh, that setup is not
no.
it. That setup is absolutely atrocious. Louis goes safe in. Rebel ends up jumping up into second.
Yeah,
All over the
saved-
place there, going
saved-
through the risky there.
Saved from a second ace by Rebel.
Very lucky
well,
there.
by Louis going for safe in there, but not a good position to be in if you're on the side of Bonks R Us. Retirement home now just 2 points away from taking the map and the match. So, this final round, well, it could be the final round right here, but Naruto leading out front is going to stop that. If they can stay on the track, all the other players seem to be pretty much evenly matched, about 3/10 behind. And we're going to head into this quarter pipe jump once more, and who is going to make it? Who is going to clip? It looks like everybody made
Everyone's
it through
made
just
it.
all right, and Rebel got a really, really good jump and is slightly ahead of Idolus, and has a better lineup here for the finish as well, so could be an ace, but goes for the safe finish.
Oh, and that's a costly decision as Louis out of nowhere gets the risky finish. Gets
Yeah.
a snipe to deny the ace, and 6-9 is a horrible, horrible scoreline to be on. You get anything bar an ace, and it's over. You get an ace, and you still don't win.
You get an ace and you still don't win, but if you do get an ace, you can at least afford to play for the draw if one of you crashes. So it's all on this round for Bonks R Us.
Ah, that's not what they
dear.
need. Early
That's
clip from
clip.
Yaruko.
But they aren't infinitely far behind. They can still catch up here. And as
Rebel
I say,
mistake
that Rebel
as
has
well.
also made a mistake. So this is looking like retirement home bringing home the victory. But
It's going to
The
be
scoreline
Yaruko
may
has
be
fallen
not
off the track.
oh,
And that
no.
is GG here on this match. All Idol and Louis need to do is get one of them across this quarter pipe and into the safe finish. Which
Yeah.
they're both going to make it. Now, if I know Louis, are they going to be sensible and go for the safe in? I honestly think they will.
Yeah, they will.
There they go. Pair of them taking the easy way out.
A clean
And
ace.
there we have it. A clean ace to wrap up the map.
Yeah, but
Not
I
the
don't
job, though.
think the scoreline reflected how close this was.
No.
12-6 looks much more dominant than how the rounds shook out, with a couple of decisions maybe to try and go for the risky finish for a couple of the Bonks R Us players, and or play it a bit safer on some of the rounds as well. And that scoreline could have been flipped completely. So yeah, that was a very good match between the two. You were right, Padster.
I said it would be a good one, and
It's a
yeah.
good one.
I'd like to say I didn't disappoint there.
I think we did have 3 aces though, after 3 aces total. No, 2 aces. I think after we had talked about it being a completely even match. But yeah, that was a very solid performance from both teams, and I've got to say, Bonks R Us not actually looking all that bad going forward in the bracket as well. So
Definitely got
hopefully
a
we'll
chance
see them
here.
come back. Yeah.
mean, we are definitely going to see them again at some point in the lower bracket. Not quite yet, though, as we are, I believe, let me just check if we are still waiting on the result of the Twos match. I know there were some slight technical difficulties. Nope, it is over in fairly dominant fashion. Score looks like damp, so yeah, those are the 2 round 1 matches complete.
Yeah.
Moving on to the upper bracket, where lower bracket will be sitting this one out.
Yes.
Of course, 2 of the teams falling into the lower bracket are in fact buys, so
yeah,
they get to chill out for this one, and we are going to have Good Focus versus a retirement home. That's a there's a bit of a civil war going on there.
That is a match. That is a match. I feel like
4 Good Focus players.
That
That'll be a good watch, I reckon. And then we have Split versus look like Damp. Other one. That's also a bit of a civil war as well.
Yeah, that's a banger.
We got 3 Split players, and I believe Eggy played for Split at some point.
Yeah.
Recently moved to Good Focus. So yeah, we got the Good Focus match and the Split match.
It's a pair of really good matches. It's a shame that we can't watch both at the same time, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to flip a coin on which one we are going to watch, unless people have very strong opinions in chat. If they want to spam Good Focus or Split to tell us what to go and watch. But for now, we're going to throw to a quick break where we get the next part of the bracket all sorted out. And yeah, we will be back very, very shortly.
I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. I don't wanna think about it every day. You know that you kinda wanna feel the same way. So much time, you just had to pretend. I've been so lost, I just wanna run away. Run away right now. I gotta go, I'm wasting my attention. You've been on my mind, I could touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, but you like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it.
Every day, I want your touch, and every way, I can't give it up. Anything, just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, will you be my ride or die? Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
I can't give it up.
Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrow, but I love that bitter taste. Visions of you. Come closer.
welcome back to the Trent on Track Qualifier 2 match phase, I guess we'd call it. We have
bracket stage.
Yeah, bracket stage, that sounds a lot better. Yeah, we have a bit of, I can only describe it as like a civil war almost. I don't know the best term for it. We have good
Yeah.
focus versus good focus. The tags are not going to be in any way useful for this match.
I
All
think the
four of
tag
these
would be
players
confusing.
are good focus players.
Yeah.
However, two of them have declared themselves members of the retirement home. So
Which I have to say, that's a hell of a thing to declare yourself as.
they're in their
Ostensibly
30s though. It's
part of the
a bit
same
rough.
team, but yeah. I think we're already getting into this first round already. The first map already picked, a flower on the ground, and yeah, I think in the seeding rounds that we had here, good focus was they were second overall on this map, so kind of expecting them to take the victory here, but we'll see how it turns out because all these players are within 1/10 of a second as we're getting into this second reactor penalty area and then into this sweeping right-hand downhill. This is a very, very close round, but this is the really, really dangerous part of the grass section. Yeah, Louis clipping, and then all three players up front within a car length of each other, and we'll see who has the fastest run to the line. I think it's Babs. They have just got it, and that was so close for an ace.
That is the cheekiest ace I've ever seen.
.003?
Yeah.
For an ace? Wow.
That was an absolute belter round there from Idol, Yossi, and Babs. Louis started falling a bit behind. This time, though, it is Yossi with a bit of speed loss. Or Louis does a similar thing.
Yeah.
So, round not looking as close this time, and Babs, who has always felt like the weaker link in good focus chain.
Yeah, definitely last week.
Having a very good start to the match here. 1 round win, belt. Looking strong to pick up another as Idol makes a costly mistake, and I think we'll get onto this 0 score line very, very quickly here unless Yossi drives into a wall.
Yossi also clipped. Louis could come back at him, but
not with that exit. Definitely not with that exit. Yeah, and it is going to be a second ace here. Good focus are the younger members are not here to mess around against the older members, shall we say, as we get a second ace in a row.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty decisive second round. Much more of a lead than the first round. I think this scoreline does not reflect again how close that first round was. As going into the third round, I think that was Louis again clipping at the beginning, but also Babs getting a clip too. So it's down to Idol and Yossi to figure out between themselves which one of them is going to come home with the round win. But they are neck and neck right now, and it's all on Idol really to try and prevent another victory for the side of good focus and putting them in that danger zone of 8 points, because Louis is 1.6 seconds behind Babs, so they will not be getting their own victory out of this at all. And Idol seems to have the lead here going through the grass, avoids the clip, now to this final reactor turn, also avoids clipping on that inside pole, and that looks like a really, really safe finish there, although that was very close to clipping the inside wall on the finish and flipping out to the side. But yeah, clean finish and a draw. Good focus now in range to win the round with an ace, so retirement home, they still have to pick up the pace a bit, still have to play it a bit safer, and as I say that,
that's not safe from Louis.
That is not the correct play, shall we say, from Louis. 3 seconds behind after an instant crash at the start, and again it's all down to Idol, who is now 1/10 of a second behind Yossi up front. See if he can pull it back. going into this dirt section, and well, this is one of the first places where players usually mess up, but they will get through cleanly. Now into grass reactor, and all through cleanly again, although Idol lost a bit of speed, so now has everything to do going into this grass segment. Gets a good drift, doesn't lose too much speed, still within
Babs.
range.
Oh,
gets a
how
clip.
does Babs save that? He does not. That is how he does
does
not
not.
save that in the end. Still manages to get a victory. Doesn't quite wrap up the map, technically,
Yeah.
but 2-9 is a ridiculous scoreline. That's going to need 3
That's-
aces in a row from retirement home. So it's as good as done. This is almost a formality at this point.
It should be, right? And I mean, we've seen a lot of mistakes coming out from retirement home very, very early on in these rounds. I'd be surprised if we don't see another one again, and there it is. I think that was Idol going into... No, it was Louis again, going into the wall at the beginning, 1.1 seconds behind, although Babs also did crash, so not completely unreachable if Babs makes another mistake. But Idol still would need to get ahead of Yussi up front to make this count, and Yussi would need to crash out completely for Louis to get ahead, so it is looking like it's going to be closed out very, very easily by good focus on this first map. Going through the grass section here, Yussi does get a bit of a poor line, so might lose the round victory, but it's not going to lose the map at all, even... Oh, that's a good snipe from Idol, but yeah, it's going to be a draw overall. Good focus, getting that last point that they need and taking the first map.
I never like calling out a player when they're having a bit of a rough one, but that was a very rough one from Louis, it has to be said.
I mean, you can see in the chat saying
Louis,
that they seem to have misplaced their glasses, so I think Louis is just as aware as we are
Yeah.
of the unfortunate first map that they were having. But
Gonna
we'll
give
see if
him-
they can turn it around.
Gonna give him one hell of an uphill battle to try and get through this.
Yeah. Oh, I see what he did there. Uphill battle, and we have the uphill quarter pipe jump on this map.
Yeah, very, very intentional there. That's definitely a joke, but it is going to be a battle of at least one major uphill on this track. Well, I'd say two. There's the dirt uphill, as we see Babs getting through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louis and Idol. Well, Louis in particular is going to need to perform a bit better, and Idol is going to need to continue playing out absolute best. I think stand a chance here.
Yeah, and there's bad news for the side of retirement home on this map in particular as well, because this is one of the maps, one of the 3 maps in the timed rounds that Good Focus was rank 1 on. So I'm rather expecting them to come through and win this one too, but we will see, because as we saw earlier with the I believe it was 11-1 scoreline in the second round on one of our matches, it can go either way on these in these rounds, and
not
I
a good
believe it
start
was
for
Babs.
Babs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is not what good
Way
focus
off
need,
into
but
Narnia.
perhaps what the other good focus players need.
Exactly. Retirement home perhaps were planning for that, perhaps plotting, perhaps they knew. And this is the sort of opportunity that they've been waiting for. Although, having said that, I think both of them just clipped.
Yeah.
during
well,
the
one of them
no-break
clipped again.
section.
That's
Oh, that's bad.
Oh,
That might lead Babs back through.
yeah, that was one of those mistakes that
is.
looks very silly from Louis, and because they'd clipped earlier on, they turn in at the point where they usually
Oh.
would, but they just don't
Yussi
have
failed
the
the jump.
speed. Yussi has gone on an adventure though, so that almost
Well,
makes
it's
Louis'
just a
mistake
win
worse,
victory.
as that is an ace they have lost, but a victory they will get a retirement home, take the lead on a map for the first time.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate second clip from Louis there. If he hadn't got that with the rest of the map, that 100% would have been, you know, an ace for retirement home, and that would have been exactly what they needed starting this map off. So unfortunate that they don't quite get it, but still they'll take a victory, I think, after the first map went so horribly, and hopefully they can try and keep a little bit better consistency up, because Yussi failed that jump quite spectacularly, I would say. So maybe that'll become a trend. I think we had last week a few times where players were making mistakes where they sort of might not have thought it was possible over and over again. So see if those creep in for good focus here.
Oh, that is a bit of a newer mistake from Babs. It has to be said. Stepping off right there, Yossi survives. Somehow gets away with it. And it's going to be a case of how big is Protective. Protective is enough to catch one, but not the other. Idle picks up a second win in a row. And it is a victory for the retirement home. Stretching their lead a little bit more. Certainly nothing dominant. Certainly nothing done yet, but it's a nicer start.
This one is a lot more on a knife edge than the last map was. You'll see that just saving the round with a really, really good tech drift at the end. That was a good recovery as well to come off the clip from the quarter pipe jump and make that. And so far this round, none of the players falling particularly far behind, so getting into the no brick section here. This is the first sort of make or break point, this right-hander. Nobody clipping on the inside of that wall there, so it's all looking good heading towards this quarter pipe jump that has claimed so many players' runs throughout the tournament so far, and it looks like Louis has gone too low, slammed straight into the wall, and that is handing an ace to Babs and Yossi. So, they're both taking safe spin.
They got away with it. I'm not gonna criticize Louis at all for that one, assuming, you know, the HUD was on it and they were keeping an eye on what's going on. They had to risk it. They had to full send it to try and catch up to good focus. No point. It's not really like, I don't know, reverse cup or cup of the day or anything like that, where, you know, there's still a benefit of just keeping it neat and tidy and finish. Babs? What on earth was that?
Well, Babs has just opened this right up.
Yeah, well, that was a thing that just happened.
That was a thing that just happened.
Assuming no major mistakes, this is pretty much a Louis locked in third, Babs locked in fourth. Looking like it'll probably be a draw this round, as Idle has lost a lot of pace to Yossi. Ugly gear on the grass there as well.
Oh, that's a good lineup as well from Yossi to make that jump. I held my breath there for a second. I thought they might have jumped slightly too low, but they've made it through, and it does look like it is going to be that draw. So, you would have hoped on the side of retirement home that you could take more points away from a round like that where Babs just flies off at the first checkpoint, but it's gonna
good for that.
To just be that draw. Yeah. It's was that Idle clipping at the start?
No, Idle's still in it. No. I think
I
you're
saw
seeing.
I
think you've just got, you know, like hallucinations from previous rounds of people driving into walls and stuff. Everyone is actually still on the track by the time we reach about the fourth CP.
Yeah, every time a car sort of disappears at the bottom of my screen, I sort of assume that they've gone into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Not this time around. Yeah, barely 3/10 the difference between all four players.
So we get a small crash there. So it's going to be on the Idle list to try and deny the ace. And that is a poor jump. Yossi and Bab in a good position here to take this.
Oh, they both
what?
Crashed. They both crashed.
Louis is nowhere to be found, unfortunately.
Oh, it's a draw.
Missed opportunity there from retirement home, it has to be said.
No way.
But they still somehow keep that alive. And they keep themselves in this match. It is match point for good focus, but retirement home on 6 points. Two victories and they are back in it. And still got a decent chance here. Just don't get aced. That is kind of a priority for this round. Try and keep it clean. We see a first mistake come out. That is Babs. Not having fun on the early section of this track, it has to be said.
Yossi has been completely untouchable up front, so...
He's not got that big a gap this time around. It is only about 1/10 of a second. Louis, from decent speed, pounding Yossi here.
Yeah, but it's all about the quarter pipe jump, and Yossi has been very, very consistent so far. We'll see if they can get a good line again. It looks like they do have one, but
Oh, Louis goes so low.
it's so close between them. It's all going to come down to who gets the risky finish right. And it looks like
Yeah.
Yossi might have it.
Oh,
Oh,
and
no.
Louis
Louis.
does not. Where's Babs?
Oh,
Babs has finished.
Babs just made it.
Louis had to push for that. It had to be done.
Yeah.
But
Fair play to Louis. Had to push for it, had to full risk because they need the victories. They need the aces to get back into this game and take this map away, because Good Focus are now just 1 point away from taking the whole match.
and booking their ticket to Trent on track.
Yeah, exactly.
This
chance
is it. This
to
is
get
their
at the
chance
prize
to
pool.
qualify. 1 point, a single player in the top 2 of this round. And
Yeah,
it
and-
is over. Louis somehow doesn't go flying after doing some snow car level of two-wheeling there.
Yeah, that was incredible.
But it's not exactly done great things for his time. Yossi and Bab both up at the front. All they need is one person to survive this jump up. Babs goes on the safe side. Yossi gets it pretty well, and this looks like it's going to be GG. Louis pushing for all he is worth.
Yeah.
One goes safe, one goes risky,
that's
and that
still
is
there.
it. Good Focus will be going to Trent on track. We have our 5th team qualified.
Yeah, well done to Good Focus. That was well, not quite as clean a second map as the first, but that overall match was a clean, controlled victory from them. Very, very well played between the both of them.
We've got to say, commiserations to Good Focus. It's sad to see 2 of their players in the tournament not qualify at this stage. You know, they're going to have another match to try and get through. But, I
They have
mean,
one more
it's good
try.
news for Good Focus. It's bad news for Good Focus.
I, for one, I'm so glad that Good Focus won.
Yeah, I'm really gutted Good Focus lost.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good Focus, who have actually claimed for name Good Focus, are the ones who get through. And the retirement home, the older original members of Good Focus, not so much. They will be going into the lower bracket, where they will go and face Bruce, combination of and Sister Twitties. I will see whether the other match is still ongoing. I haven't seen any results posted, so
I don't think so as of yet. We did have a very, very fast first round, so yeah, I believe it is still ongoing between Split and Looks Like Damp. So we'll see if we can get into that match and spectate it before it ends.
that is
I'm knocking things off my desk. Perfect. Let's see.
okay. I'm just gonna cut to what I've just seen.
Oh my
A
goodness.
loading screen. That is the end of the game.
Was that the end of it?
Yeah, that was actually
was
the end
the
of the
end of
game.
it.
I literally loaded it and he just said match over.
Yeah,
So,
I also
that
looked at it. It
is,
said match over 11-10 at the top as well, so that looked
Yeah,
like
it looked like it was a close final round.
Yeah.
But it was a 2-0 victory for someone. I'd be willing to bet almost everything I own on it being split.
Quite possibly. We'll have to double check, because Comp Tool is very reliable with putting teams on the right side of the right side of the bracket, or right side of the match score. But we'll get confirmation on it as soon as possible. Yeah, and I believe it was Split that won that round, or won that match. It looks like it was a close second map, but yeah, well done to them to also qualify to the main event.
Okay, we have some big news in chat. My name is now Granati. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but you know, they said, "Hey Granati, have you seen the new Danish org?" Yeah, I will actually say, show wheel.
Yeah, do you want
show wheel? Do I have?
Is this Is this our 92 Bob
This
moment? Have you
is
secretly been
this
Grenadied
is my
whole
wheel.
time? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's on my Lego car. Yep, that's the only wheel I have access to. Answer is my
Excellent.
favorite Grenadier. I'm glad I'm your favorite Grenadier. I'm better than the other fraud Grenadier who, only gets to like a second in Red Bull. Noob. Right. Yeah. Well, that is a Twitch chat moment of all time. I gotta be honest. We have the matches done.
Yes, both of those
And
matches
the
are
comp
done.
tool.
That's the comp tool was showing the incorrect team, but it was Split that won the rounds, that won that match and has punched their ticket to the LAN event. So well done to them.
Yep.
An unsurprising result. I do have to say they looked very, very strong in the timed rounds earlier on. So yeah.
Yeah, they very much missed out on first seed by a tiny amount. I think it was
Well,
tenths of a second in the tiebreak.
yeah.
So
That was only first seed heading into this bracket. Let's not forget that they still have a match
They
to play
do.
for seeding against Good Focus. So we'll see if they can take the actual first seed from week 2.
yeah, it's be interesting to see. I reckon that'll be a belter match.
I reckon it
Good
will.
Focus versus
Yeah.
Split.
Yeah.
But sadly, there's going to be 3 matches going on, and we can only watch one of them, as
We
I
can
do
only
only have
watch
2
one.
eyes instead of 6. Is deeply upsetting. I'd love to be able
Well,
to watch both.
I've heard you're also Grenadi, so
I am Granati. Yeah.
maybe if you've got 2 bodies, you can switch between them.
New poll, best Granati.
Best Grenadi.
Red hair, wheel, or Yek. This is. I mean, I'm personally voting for Yek as the best Grenadi. So, yeah, we're going to have 3 matches going on. We have the upper bracket match. That'll be important for seeding, and I think it'll be a belter match. I don't think we're going to watch it, because we
We'll
know those 2
find
teams
out.
are going to be at the LAN, and there's a very decent chance we'll get to see them play each other at the LAN at some point.
Possibly, yeah.
As for the other side, as for the lower bracket, we're going to have 4 teams battling it out. 2 will have their journey end here. 2 will make it to Trent on track.
Yeah, and these are the big important matches really left in this bracket, because for these teams there is no other chances to get through if you don't make it through now. And
Yeah, this is it.
yeah, it's as a player, previously in other games, in other tournaments, I've been in this situation before. I know the pressure of trying to make it through a qualifying brackets in your sort of last chance, and I'm sure these players are feeling it now. So hopefully we get some very, very close matches, and we'll see them soon.
The matches we're gonna have, we don't quite have a bracket ready quite now, quite yet. But
I'll have to pull it up post break, I think.
Yeah. But just to let you know now, we are going to have Retirement Home versus Twoose as one match, and the other match will be Eggy and Matt stamp up against
Is it up against Bonks Us?
Bonks R Us, yes. All the names just left me for a second.
Ooh.
So, yeah, well, we get the bracket sorted, well, we get the comp tool inevitable technical difficulty sorted. We will be back in about 10 minutes for the final matches of the qualifier. The final chance to watch the matches before they're in person in Stoke-on-Trent. And I will say, we still have a ticket left. One. If any of you in chat are on the fence, come. It'll be fun. But only one of you. No more than one of you can be, excited to come who hasn't already got a ticket.
Could somebody contact the inferior Grenadi?
Yeah.
And tell them about the ticket.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try and
Tell them about the new org logo, which I'd like to say I have seen. I don't know what you were thinking. But yeah, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the final matches here.
I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you send me a light? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. I don't wanna think about it every day. You know that you kinda wanna feel the same way. So much time, you just had to pretend. I've been so lost, I just wanna run away. Run away right now. I gotta go, I'm wasting my attention. You've been on my mind, I could touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, but you like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you tell me a lie? 'Cause I can't take it, I can't take it.
Every day, I want your touch. And every way, I can't give it up. Anything, just to feel the rush. This just ain't enough. Oh, will you be my ride or die? Oh, we can do this every night. Oh, yeah. Will you be my ride or die?
Said I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
Come closer. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
Hello and welcome to the final matches of the Trent on Track qualifier. This is life or death for 4 of the teams. Well, maybe not quite that dramatic, but Trent on Track really matters, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does as well, because this is the first LAN event in the UK, well, first duo LAN event in the UK ever, and also the largest one ever, which was the one.
But
That's the
in
new stat
terms
that we
of
got earlier.
players,
In terms of players, largest one
not
ever.
a... Yeah, I think...
I want to specify we do not have Red Bull's amount of money, but we do have more players.
Yeah, we
So-
can't quite announce the 50k prize pool that they had lying about.
I also, I'm not
Red Bull,
I,
if you're about, we would love to, you know, get in contact.
I feel
but-
like we should get competing teams F1 cars to put around the players on the stage.
Yeah. We definitely have a
So-
budget to go and get 15
The
F1
budget, yeah,
cars.
it's just like I
I
mean,
mean,
what are they?
maybe
What
like
are they
these style Lego ones, you know, these are like 20 quid each.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we
easy
can
to
get
an
Lego
F1 car.
ones.
I know that. It's Porsche, but it's a wet car. Get each of the teams around it. But yeah, we have F1 cars around our stage too.
I mean, we could, as a merch thing, we could do our own. Well, I don't think we could use Lego ones, but
I don't think that would be very legal to resell Lego with our own stickers
we
on
could
it.
try and do our own. We could try and do our own Trackmania cars though with the team logos on. That would
That
be pretty
would
cool.
be adorable. I have no idea if we
Yeah.
could actually do that. Anyway, we
I-
stopped
we'll
nattering
figure it out.
about random merchandise and talk about the matches that are coming up. So we have basically the final look at the bracket at this point.
Yeah.
Up in the upper bracket, already confirmed through, we have Yossi and Babs versus Koza and Killian. These two teams have been pretty untouchable today.
Yeah.
It has to be said.
It has got to be said. Split looked pretty much untouchable in their bracket game, and I can only assume it was the exact same for. Oh no, it was the exact same for Good
Good Focus,
Focus as
we
well.
watched that one.
So yeah, we did watch that one.
Um,
So look,
Yeah.
both teams have been playing incredibly well. They've definitely been a step ahead of the rest of the competition today. So they will be playing each other for first and second seed coming out of this week, heading into the event. But that is not the match that we are focusing on now. We will be watching the Bonks Are Us versus Looks Like Damp match, which is Eggy and Matt versus Nyaruko and Rebel. Although I think I got those names the wrong way around.
it's the same as it is on. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I think this will be the close match.
Yes.
Boost have tried their best, but I expect Idol and Louis to just be a step too far for them. But Eggy and Matt versus Nya and Rebel. It's really consistency will be the name of the game massively.
Yeah.
With all of these players, and we've seen moments where Yoriko and Rebel in particular on peak look excellent.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. And also, there's a little bit of insider info. Peak will be the first map because picks and
Yes.
bans have already gone through. Players are currently on the server in the warm up, so we'll be getting onto there as soon as possible. But yeah, this is lining up to be a very, very close match because you got to remember everything on the line here between these two teams. There are no more second chances. This is your only shot to make it to LAN, to face up against the likes of Babs and Yossi, the likes of Koza and Killian, the likes of Epos as well will be at the LAN, and Wizzy and Boz. So
Acros, Jadon, Josh,
so many to play
E,
for.
Divino,
Yeah.
you know, all these top players and Divino gonna be there. It's gonna be so exciting.
It's gonna be amazing, right? And this is your chance to be up with those names. So we're going into the first round on peak, and luckily we started the round and nobody has got the infamous no slide.
Yep.
So this one is looking to be a good one.
Oh,
As I say that,
where did
Rebel
Rebel go?
becomes the first casualty of the match, going straight to Narnia off the off that clip. So it's gonna be a three-way fight up front. Nyaruko needing to get the win to force a draw, but behind into the Ice 360, and Eki crashes on the exit of that, so it's now Nyaruko in the lead, but Matt has more speed behind. Can they catch in this final drift? It looks like they could. Oh, but they clipped at the end. So Nyaruko able to win that round and force a draw for the first round.
Yeah, there we go. Unfortunate Rebel wasn't there, to be honest. That could have been a lot better for Bonsaras, but Nyaruko showing, you know, the skill on that I-360, which has tripped up a lot of players, it has to be said. But
Yeah,
not Yar
and-
this time, and gets advantage of it. Do
Oh,
we have
Rebel.
any no sliders? We do, and it's Rebel again, someone we praised for such strong performance on this match last time out, on this map even. Not
Yeah.
going as well here.
No, yeah, maybe we've rediscovered the caster curse after losing it earlier on in the day. But an unfortunate start to the second round as well, and Matt has also made a mistake. So it's again between Eggy and Nyaru up front, and it looks like Eggy has made it through the 360 this time, so it's all going to be down to this final drift. Nyaru has more speed. Will they make it through? Oh, that's a really good line.
It's going to
looks
get it
like they
better.
could
It's going
have
to be
it.
so tight.
Oh.
Naruto gets it. And that,
200s.
the kind of
That's another draw.
surfaces that Naruto is good at is very much an outlier within BITM, I think. Rico,
Yeah.
one of the kind of longer running active players within the competitive scene at this point, has played in almost every single tournament we've run.
Eggy has crashed in this
Yeah.
third round.
Yeah, I'm fuming, but
Yes, that was a no slide.
as
But Nyaru's respawned.
yeah, as with like some of the other kind of more experienced or longer running players, strong attack, I
Yeah.
believe, certainly showed there. Certainly looks better than Eggy. But seems comfortable on ice as well.
Yeah, at least with this 360, and I mean, it could be as well.
Oh,
that this is the-
Rebel! Oh, that was silly.
That was an unfortunate mistake to make, and that is going to hand the first points advantage of the match over to looks like Damp for the victory. Oh, that is just not the mistake that you want to make on a round like this, because you could have stayed even on points, and that feels that's very unfortunate coming off of the drift there, but you can still bring it back. It's not out of the woods yet, and we go into round 4, and nobody has crashed this time around at the start, so it's gonna be a straight fight unless anybody clips. And there is the first one, Nyaru getting a wheel off the track, and it's now all down to Rebel, who has not had the best runs so far, but they are still up neck and neck with Matt T. We'll see if they can handle the 360 and get an advantage out of it. Matt T seems to have a very good line there. Stays ahead and has more speed, so...
That's
oh, no, but goes wide.
weird line.
Goes wide again, but...
Is gonna make it.
Still makes it.
Rico beat out Eggy after a
Oh,
mistake
yeah.
from Eggy there. So we got another draw. We are 4 rounds deep. We've had 3 draws and a victory.
Yeah.
This could be a bit of a marathon, this match, if it continues
could
going as
be.
it has been so far.
Well, we were looking at it to be a banger, and
Oh, Matt T falling behind even before any chance for no slide. That is a
oh dear.
X0 mistake.
Oh no, and gets a clip as well. Has to respawn twice.
Yeah, that is one player out of it. 4 looks like Damp. Is this the chance that Nyaruko and Rebel have needed to kind of get into it? No.
Nyaruko.
Yeah, Nyaruko has fallen. Honestly, not that far behind. A big mistake on 360 from Eggy. Third
It
cause
could
the gap,
still-
but
Yeah.
Eggy keeps it tidy. We will be heading straight towards yet another draw.
Yeah, they've kept it
And-
tidy by the looks, so...
Yep.
Looks like this match is gonna be going a lot a much longer way than perhaps even we expected. We thought it would be a close one, but that is the what, fourth draw, fifth draw, fourth draw.
Fourth
So
draw out of
far
5.
out of 5 rounds. So the team's pretty much neck and neck, both in terms of mistakes and in terms of pace. We saw all 4 players within a tenth of a second, really, before anyone crashed out in a couple of these rounds. So see if that stays the same going into this round. It looks like Rebel a couple of tenths back, but not completely out of it just yet. Going into this second danger zone. Oh, that was so close. I think that was Matt getting right up next to the wall, but didn't clip. So it's all going to be even heading into the Ice 360. Once again, with Rebel a couple of tenths behind. We'll see how good of a 360 they can get, and it looks like a good one. But Matt and Eggy are both ahead. It's all on Yaruko to try and make this into a draw, but they get a no slide. Oh, that's the worst time for a no slide. And the first ace of the match comes out, and looks like Damp is up to 9 points.
That is, after so many draws in a row, everyone keeps it tidy, and that's the round where the draws stop. Now going to need 2 aces in a row here. Or Bonks or us, most likely. It is a huge task to try and get this map back. They're doing what they can for now. Yaruko and Rebel up their map a little behind, but honestly not much by this map standards.
No, yeah, not a lot behind, and anything can change in this Ice 360 here, but Eggy has been, other than the first round where they crashed, they've been very, very consistent with it, although having said that, they got really slow on this time.
Beautiful 360.
This could be the first ace that they need. Boxer us getting through the last corner together, taking the ace. That is going to be a 8-9 scoreline, and now it gets very interesting.
An ace will win it. A victory will move us into the first overtime of the day. As we see the first mistake coming out, though, from Rebel, getting the no slide, and it's that faulty road here on Bonker Us, first map. They're gonna need a huge mistake from one of the Look Like Damn players. 2 seconds behind the Rebel. It's a lot of time to have to make up.
Yeah, and it looks like they're still pushing here. They're still going for the victory, but they don't necessarily have to. They can afford to play it really, really safe on this 360 if they want, which it looks like they have done. Yaruko is taking the lead there, but yeah, all they need is to finish with one of the cars in the top 2, and they are guaranteed to win this map. And there it is.
There they go. One ace pretty much decided everything on this track. Games Look Like Damn for the advanced training. Actually, it wasn't even the ace, it was a single victory on round 2. That was the only difference.
We had 5
so
draws?
tight. I think so.
I think that was
I think we
draws,
had something like 4 draws.
2 aces and
2 aces and then kind of
and then 1 victory.
A single victory. But yeah, no, it must have been 5 draws. Wow.
I think it was 5 draws.
That is a pretty nuts scoreline.
Yeah.
But I think Bonks R Us really may have needed to win that track. They are coming into this as slight underdogs.
Yeah.
They placed lower in seeding. They're coming in kind of through the lower side of the bracket. Unlike Matt and Eggy.
I think that was their map pick as well. With the way that the comp tool has worked, it's put them in first in the or it had put them in first in the pick ban. So yeah, this now should be Looks Like Damp's map, and it's not a good sign if you're Boxer Us going into this without a round win under your belt. You can't afford to just play safe anymore. You have to risk, and this is one of the worst maps to be trying to risk on, because there are so many opportunities to just clip a wheel and lose a second. But we'll see how they handle it as we get into this first round.
They've handled it better than Matt so far. Matt is the first casualty of his initial jump down. We've seen quite a few people fall to that over the course of the day. Matt, another one tallied onto the list.
Yeah, and
That
it's
said, Eggy holding on to first now, limiting damage to a draw after that 1 second mistake from Matt. Rebel trying to charge, trying to do what they can. It's going to be tight. How well do they get this uphill third? It looks fairly even, if not slightly better for Rebel. He is still there. These two are so tight. Yeah, massive incident all by himself. Right behind Matt. And suddenly it's Rebel holding on for the draw.
Oh, the crashes. Oh, the
The
crashes.
big
And this
crash
could be...
is Matt there. Matt is there as Rebel hits the wall again.
Oh, no.
They were given such a good opportunity by Matt there to get a draw. At
In the
worst.
space of a corner, it turned from a clear and easy draw or victory into a ace defeat, and looks like
Starting off this round,
taking a
Rebel.
really important. Yeah.
Rebel
Oh, dear.
gets initial light poles, and looks like Damp. Good position here.
Yeah, that's a really important step forward for looks like Damp. That's one hand on the ticket to get to LAN.
Yeah, they
We'll
hold
see
together
if
this
they're able
round.
to hold on to it. That's 6/10 the gap. It's looking like it's all looks like Damp, although
Oh, that is a
Matt
mistake from Matt.
clips.
Rebel gets past, and Yaruko gets past, and suddenly, this turns into a draw formation. Are we going to see any more mistakes? Yaruko
no.
makes a mistake, and Matt carves his way back through the field. Back in second place, pretending like nothing happened, and will pick up the ace here for looks like Damp.
Oh, the opportunity was there to force a draw to get at least 1 point on the board to prevent a stacked ace on the side of looks like Damp, but Bonks R Us just couldn't. They both failed on the same corner, the exit to the normal grass corner there. It's one of the trickiest points on the map, I do have to say. But that's so unfortunate for them, and they will be kicking themselves, tears in the eyes perhaps, trying to push and push and push and get the advantage on this map, but it's just not happening so far. Looks like Damp looking pretty much untouchable here. The few mistakes that have come out have not cost
Rebel
them anything.
was behind.
And, yeah. Matt does make a mistake going
falls a
into
bit
that
behind.
second reactor grass.
Right, how is Rebel going to negotiate this grass? We've seen a mistake both rounds here so far.
Oh, they make it this
hold
time.
it together. Might go and rescue a point here, but isn't going to. Mac gets a great end. And any hope for Boxer Us looks like it is gone now. They would need 3 aces in a row to tie this up. I don't see it happening.
That is a horrific end to that round. So unfortunate for Rebel to get sniped there at the end, but very well played by Matt. Although now
Naruto
on this
clipped.
round,
Yeah,
there's been a few clips as well. Eggy also clipped. So it's not completely done yet. Naruto is still within a second of the lead. If Matt and Eggy both clip again, it could turn around and be an ace for Bonks R Us. They might stay alive for one more round, but
I don't see it.
yeah, we don't necessarily see it, because all looks like Damp needs is one player in that top two, and they have the map and the match and the ticket to the LAN. So we'll see if they can hold onto it through this final grass section. And Rebel getting a very slow line there as well, so it looks like they might not even take the draw out of this final round. Oh no, will keep it. So yeah,
There we go.
it will end with a draw.
That is it. After such a tight first map, it ends in domination. Looks like Damp
Total domination.
will be your next team heading to the LAN. And the last team heading to the LAN, as the retirement home versus the Tweets match is complete. Retirement home also going to the LAN. there we have it. We have our 8 teams. It's
Yeah.
taken 2 days of qualifying to narrow them down. Find the best 8 teams to take part in Trent on Track, but we have them.
Yeah, and it's got to be said. Commiserations to Boxlaros and to Twoos.
Yeah.
Both
Curry Knight as
trying
well.
their best. Yeah, and Curry Knight as well from last week. Yeah, trying their best to make it through, but not quite doing so. And yeah, it's hopefully we might still see the people at the LAN if one of them perhaps goes for that final ticket that's available.
Yep.
But as for the spots as players, that is all done and dusted for them. So
Right. We have
Yeah.
had an a slightly unexpected final result, perhaps.
Oh.
Split versus Good Focus has gone the way of Split. The Split
Oh,
winning the second qualifier. Great
really?
performance there from Koza and Killian. I'm so
Excellent.
sad we didn't get to watch that match. Like, we had to watch one of the knockout ones. We're probably
have
going to
to
see
watch
Split
one.
versus Good Focus at some other point. We're going to see
Yeah.
plenty of those 2 teams as they will get to take place in, the full best of 5 double elimination brackets we're going to have
Yeah.
out the LAN.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing them in person and how they perform.
Oh, yeah. It'll be so interesting to see. But
Especially up against the teams we had in week 1 as well.
Oh, yeah.
because that was a strong crop of teams, and these 2 looked very, very strong today. Split and Good Focus, so maybe they get some good matches in when we get to the LAN. But yeah.
Indeed. Well, there we have it. We have our 8 teams. We have our 16 players all locked in for the LAN. That will
Yeah.
be on the 19th and 20th of April. Less than a month to go now. In fact,
Yes.
I imagine this time in 4 weeks, we'll be casting the final. That's quite a thought.
Yeah,
Well, I say
that
will.
is quite a thing.
Probably it'll be it won't be us. we'll have some
it
better
definitely
casters
won't be
available.
me.
Yeah.
I'll be having to run around and fix some other things going on.
Yeah.
I suspect. But,
I'll be casting some of the other games, but I think I'll leave the final to the people who really know what they're doing. We're gonna have Noah Lake and Orion there, the classic BITM casting crew, who absolutely brilliant. Thank you for a lot of it. Medic, sadly not.
No medic.
Sadly, no
unfortunately.
medic. We did
Yeah.
try, but
We did
they are
try,
busy.
but no medic. Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you everyone for joining for the qualifiers. It'd be really nice to have so many people following just for the early stage. This is just,
just for
narrowing
this
down
early
the
stage,
teams. And we've had
This
so many
is-
people following it. I can't wait for the actual LAN. I can't wait to see so many of you there in person. It's gonna be an incredible weekend. Any luck. So
really
yeah.
looking forward to it.
There's one ticket left. Someone buy it,
There's one
please.
ticket left.
We really want to do the sold out announcement. Do it for us.
Do the. I've been waiting for over a week.
Yeah,
This happened
gift it
with
to
the-
your wife, your girlfriend, your dog. I don't care. Just
This
drag
happened to
someone
the
else
Tentacle
along.
Stuff
Kick
announcement as well.
it. Yeah. There'll be a few more tickets coming in circulate. But yeah, that's
That's
there
we'll work
might,
it out.
there maybe.
That's
there
the
may
thing
be.
with the
Yeah.
with the players. We'll figure it out. That'll be
Well,
behind
yeah.
closed doors, and that'll be announced if and when it happens. Emphasis on if. Yeah.
But yeah.
I do want to say a very quick thank you because I think this is probably the last time that I will appear on the broadcast for Trent on Track. It has been a wonderful time casting for you guys, so thank you very much for watching. I really hope you all enjoy the LAN event when it comes around. If you're watching from home or whether you already have a ticket and you're planning to come along, it's going to be a good one. So,
been great having you on, and I'm sure I'll drag you into some hosting or something for the LAN. You're not going to go away that easy.
I'll escape.
Looking forward to seeing everyone there, and we will see you all in 4 weeks' time. It's gonna be fun.